Ta-da! Hello, everybody out there in YouTube
Hello.
land.
Hi.
And this is a special, we called it, or I chose to name it, a special edition of the Photo Lounge Live general discussion, because we don't normally, only on occasion do we do shows on a Wednesday, but we do it for a number of reasons to make it convenient for the party that's doing the presentation, and make it so that we can entertain folks that are in Europe and different parts of the world that where it's difficult for them to see our other shows that are, at 9 o'clock at night Eastern time. So, it spreads out the audience a little bit and hopefully brings in some more folks. And I think that's a great thing to do. And, Luis is doing a presentation. I'll let Gustavo, blow up the thumbnail here and and kind of set the tone for the show here.
Yeah, it went the wrong way, but that's okay.
There we go.
Thank you very much, Luis, for doing this for us. As I said, we want to do these occasional meetings on the Wednesday, as Jeff indicated, and make it a little bit easier for people like you, Martin, Paul, etc. in Europe, so that you don't have to be, wake up at the middle of the night to talk to us more than you usually do. So for today meeting, we basically this will be the presentation, and then at the end, after the Q&A, we will talk a little bit about reminder of what upcoming meetings, because we should be meeting in about a week and a half for the image photo review, as well as if there's any discussion, questions people want to have in the chat, please let us know, and we will try to address that. I know that we just met a few days ago, so I don't think that should be too much of an issue. So let's talk here to the other panelists briefly, particularly Terry, and then we handed it to Luis, and welcome everybody. So Jeff, in the meantime, you can check who have been joining up. I see Randall have been there, Martin.
Yeah, we got Ruben from Portugal is here. That's great. And so we are getting some people that we don't normally get, which is fantastic. And J Rod is here, and good to see him. I guess he's probably just finished work or what have you. Randall, of course, is joining us. And let's see, we've got Anita. Anita's here. And Martin, I asked him, I says, I hope you're resting your feet, because I know his feet, this guy is wearing his feet down to the bare bones with all the walking he's doing. So I hope he's well. Who else do we got? David Stewart's here. He says, and he's saying, Terry, you are awake. He's surprised. He says, well, Terry probably had to set 5 alarm clocks to make sure he got up, but
Well, actually, I wake up 4 minutes before my clock.
Oh, that's all we have.
Yeah.
To see my dedication.
Well done. Yes. Thank you.
All right. So why don't we basically hand it over here to Luis and start the presentation. So Luis, let me take that page there, and you do the forum, and then I can open this for you.
Yeah, we'll make it bigger. We might as well cut we can cut off our faces here, right?
Yes.
Very good. If you guys have a look at the screen, because I'm looking at the moment only to my own pictures, let's say, or to the slides that I'm showing.
Okay, no, we can see it. It's perfectly fine and the good size.
Very good. Okay. So, well, for the people that don't know me, I'm a Portuguese hobbyist, photographer and bird watcher, and I like reptiles as well. I'm a volunteer in a few nature reserves doing animal counts in some projects. And I've been living in the Netherlands for 30 years. And well, I occasionally travel, and I've joined this nice bunch of people nowadays in selective imagery. But I started at AP Studio, and I traveled to Sri Lanka. When was it? This year? Yeah, it was this year. Yeah, last March. So as I said, I'm a wildlife photographer, and so I'll tell you already that the pictures that I'll show you of everything which are not animals is either taken by with a simple camera or with a telephone. That's for the next person from this group to go to Sri Lanka and do some architecture or some cultural photography. So you can see on the map where Sri Lanka is. For those that don't know, Sri Lanka is this island here, just to the south of India. It's located in the Indian Ocean, a warm ocean. And you have the Indian subcontinent to the north. You have the Arabian Peninsula to the west, and you have the rest of Southeast Asia with Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia to the east, and then further the rest of Asia. As a wildlife photographer and birder, although this was not a wildlife trip, I went with my wife. But regardless, I always see animals, and my wife likes to hike. We visit national parks, so we combine both interests in this type of trip. What you highlight here in this picture are the important, let's say, for animals and other, well, animals, especially birds. Why is Sri Lanka interesting? You have a lot of endemic animals and birds that live in Sri Lanka and eventually Sri Lanka and the southwest of India. There are a lot of endemic birds, reptiles, and others, and of course plants that are endemic to the wet forests of Sri Lanka and the mountains of southwest India. And the migratory birds that come especially from the north, some of them come from very far, from Siberia, Central Asia, or even from Eastern Europe. And then there are the shorter migrants that come from either India or the Himalayan mountains. And some of these birds also spend the winter in Sri Lanka or in the south of India. That will become more self-explanatory later when I'll show you some of the pictures of the animals that I saw. By all means, if you have any questions, write on YouTube with the QQQ. Is that right, Jeff?
That's
if you have any questions, yeah. And for the rest of the people in the panel, interrupt me anytime you want. Just a short explanation of the trip that I did, which is let's say, a typical tour around Sri Lanka, as most tourists do. So we arrived in Colombo. What I did that most tourists don't do is I got a car. I drove myself in Sri Lanka. A lot of people either travel by bus, taxi, or even tuk-tuks, which are very popular in Sri Lanka. And I realized when I was arranging the trip that there is not one single rental car company at Colombo Airport.
Wow.
Which I thought is very strange. But what is more common, and you see it when you are in Sri Lanka, is that people hire a driver, which is also a guide. And they stay with this guide for the entire trip that they are, or the entire period. So you see couples, you see groups, you see individuals with one guide, and he will drive them everywhere. Now, I had this discussion with two colleagues of mine at work that went to Sri Lanka and also got a driver/guide. And then my comment was, I don't want to be with my wife and somebody else for 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks. Yeah, but Sri Lanka, it's dangerous. They drive on the left-hand side, a lot of tuk-tuks, a lot of this, a lot of that. But I thought, well, it cannot be that difficult, can it? I mean, I've driven on the left-hand side, and I'll show you a few pictures. You do have to be careful. I cannot say it's that easy. You have to look outside. You have to look to what traffic is doing. But if you move a little bit left, all the tuk-tuks go left. If you move a little bit right, they look at you. If you look to the rest of the traffic, no problem. So we went from Colombo to Singiria. Singiria is a very popular touristic area. I'll show you pictures later. We drove and went back to an old capital of Sri Lanka, of a kingdom. Anura, I always get stuck with these. I'm a bit like Jeff saying these names. Anuradhapura.
See, I'm glad you have to try it instead of me. I'm not even gonna offer a suggestion.
I'm with you, Jeff. It's not easy. So we drove to that old city, saw the ruins and the old temples, and then drove back to Sigiriya. To have you an idea of the distance, from Colombo Airport right here to Sigiriya is about 3.5 hours.
Oh,
So that was on day one. Immediately, it was the longest stretch of drive that we had to do.
Yeah, you
Everything
can use
else-
a taxi or something like that for a distance like that, Luis?
No, I went with my car, with my rental car.
No, I mean for a person without a car.
Yes, I can tell you, for instance, my daughter went to Sri Lanka the year before, did a similar trip, not to some of the national parks I went to of the forest, but in general lines, she did this. She did everything with by bus or by train or by tuk-tuk.
Okay.
And I think one stretch she did it by taxi as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went. The first day we have to get used to the traffic situation. The only traffic that you have to really be careful because they don't stop for anything are buses. Buses always run on time. They overtake everybody, and you're always behind or in front of a bus, no matter what you do. Other than that, it's fine. So we went from Sigiriya to Kandy, also an ancient capital with a nice temple. We went to Kitulgala specifically to visit one of the few remnants of the wet rainforest that they have in the southeast of Sri Lanka. So this area, the southeast of Sri Lanka, receives the most rain of all the country. The north is pretty much dry, and the east also. And but in Kitulgala, we went to a forest. And after that, we went to Nuara Elia up in the mountains, where there is a lot of Ceylon tea being grown there, especially black tea is produced there. It's already pretty high. I'm not sure of the altitude, forgot to check, but let's say between 1,500 and 2,000 meters easily. The temperature was a lot cooler there. Then we went down to Yala National Park, here in this southwest corner. This is the only area of Sri Lanka where, let's say, you have big tracts of countryside which are put aside for nature, let's say. Sri Lanka is very densely populated. They have 337 inhabitants per square kilometer, which make it's even higher density than Japan, for instance.
Wow.
But they have elephants, they have leopards. So it's a different. You're always driving alongside houses and agriculture fields. You're never driving for many kilometers seeing nothing. There is always a house. There is always somebody. There is always somebody on a bicycle. There are always fields, rice fields, but there is a lot of nature as well intermingled. So it's a very interesting country. We went from this national park in the south east down to a very touristic area, Mirisa. It's a little town. There are lots of beaches in the south. And then we went to Sinharacha again to see a bigger tract of rainforest in the mountains, not very high, 300, 400 meters altitude. Went back to the coast, to Gale, an ancient fortress. And we also went to the beach there. And we did the last stretch to Colombo. and then we flew back.
Wow.
So this is Dumbala Cave. This is very close to Singiria, so that's in the interior north. 3/4 of the population, plus minus, are Buddhists. So there are a lot of Buddhist temples. What I forgot to say is that in Sri Lanka they speak, in the north they have Tamil. They speak, the Sri Lankese people speak, Sri Lankese. I think they have a specific name for their own language, but it's a different language. And then they have 13%, I wrote down here, are Hindus, and then they have Catholics and Muslims, especially the Catholics are more in the southwest where the Portuguese arrived, because the Portuguese were the first Europeans to arrive and colonize part of Sri Lanka. But you'll see that a little bit later on the pictures. So this is a cave turned into a shrine, a Buddhist shrine. This is inside of that cave.
Wow.
And so you have it's very beautiful being in the cave and then seeing all of these Buddha statues. Unfortunately, I could not take a picture of that seat there, that red seat on the bottom left. But they were cleaning and they were renovating, and a lot of the paintings from the statues. So there was a lot of things going on there. They're trying to preserve the entire cave, so it was difficult not to take a picture where somebody was with a brush painting something. Typical of the Buddhistic belief, flowers are very important. This is at a different location, also in the north. And they collect flowers and offer them in temples in huge quantities every day. This is in a shrine in the city of Kandy. This is called the Tooth Temple. Not the tooth of the tusks of the elephants that you see there, but there is a relic of Buddha with a tooth of Buddha being kept there on that shrine that you see at the back. Again, these are the offering of many different types of flower that every day are offered.
Wow.
In the shrines. Every day you can buy, or they collect and take them, or you can buy the flowers for almost nothing and leave it at the shrine. It's very, very beautiful and very, very nice to see that everybody does it. This is also in the town of Kandy, one of in the interior, already in the mountains. Later I realized that this type of drums and this type of dance that they were performing outside is typical only of that part of Kandy, that part of Sri Lanka. I thought this would be widespread through Sri Lanka. No, this is really typical from the town of Kandy. And yeah, for some reason they had this defile outside, and we were there at that moment. And I understand this doesn't happen every day, so we were quite lucky to see this. You see that big orange thing is an elephant?
Yeah.
Not a wild one, this one. But we'll come to that.
Beautiful.
So it's just taken there. Well, you can say what you want about elephants being used for this, but it's part of their tradition that they've been doing this for a long time. And to be fair, there are hundreds and hundreds of wild elephants there. They are very conscious of close to the nature parks. So in Sri Lanka, elephants can be a problem because of agriculture and these big animals. As you can imagine. I have a nice picture later to show you.
We had horses, they have elephants.
Sorry, what did you say?
We had horses and cows, they have elephants. The same news, that just we like to whinge about the other people.
Yeah, no, that's true as well. That is true as well.
Not used to seeing one with clothes on, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is true, yeah.
Yeah.
But you see at the end of the day, especially, but cricket is played everywhere in Sri Lanka. By chance, the period that we were there was the World Cup, the T20 World Cup cricket in Colombo. So there were countries from, especially the old, the Commonwealth, because cricket is, let's say, an English invention. So the World Cup cricket was going on while we were there. So it was very interesting to see a few matches on TV while we were there. But everywhere, especially after school or so, the kids and even adults, they are always somewhere they're playing cricket, and then the ball just disappears into the bush. There you can see it, and they're looking for the ball for a while. It's you can imagine. Look, this is in adjacent to a tea plantation, and sometimes the ball would just disappear, and like, how can they find the ball? And they spend minutes looking for the ball. But yeah, that's it. That's
part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly. And this picture was taken by my wife. I think women have more an advantage when they ask for people if they can take a picture than me. Okay, kids are kids, but to other women or to whatever, my wife, they always say yes to my wife. And in situations where I would not even try, you know.
Exactly.
So this is in the south. Yeah. This is in the south at the coast. If you guys remember, there was a huge tsunami in 2004 in the Indian Ocean, and we only got at least I only got a sense of the impact that it had there, because there were 35,000 people killed during that tsunami in the Sri Lanka only. There were thousands of people that died in a train along this same shore that were caught in the train when the waves came.
Yes.
And all of these boats used to be made of wood until 2004, and then they were all destroyed pretty much. So most of the boats are not built because there are not that many forests on the coast anymore. So the old boats, there is not enough wood to rebuild an old fleet from 2004. So they got a lot of boats from the entire world and then just adapted them to their own needs with the floatuator. But some of them can be, very colorful. But there are still people that talk about the tsunami or see a house. That house was destroyed. And I don't remember exactly, but they said if the house was destroyed during the tsunami at the coast, it will not be rebuilt because it's too dangerous. So they only gave permission to build where the houses had not been destroyed, something like that. That's what we were informed. But if you weren't told that there was a tsunami there, you would probably not even notice, because everything is green, everything is back to normal.
Yes.
This is again a boat there by the coast, and I think they're protecting the engines from, I don't know, sun or salt, but it's very colorful.
Yes.
I think for those, I think this picture was taken with the Z50 from my wife. And this is a gentleman, a fisherman, drying fish. And this is where the fish were, and these are the fish drying. And the sun is very strong, and I'm not sure if this is. I think it's dried for consumption. I don't think it's dried to be used as bait for fishing, but I'm not completely sure. But I think it's for consumption because they do eat dried fish there.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. These are also for consumption. Jeff and Gustavo, you guys are the divers. Any idea what any of these fish are?
Dead.
Well, I'm not asking Jeff anything anymore. Although it is a correct answer. That is.
It is. Well,
probably Paul, who is in the audience, can tell us more about the species. But some sort of, obviously, you have there some sort of ray. Right?
Spotted ray.
Yes.
The only one I recognize.
That have been they had chopped the tail, so it must be a stingray.
Yeah.
Eagle ray.
These are
actually, These
These
two
are
you're
tuna
showing
fish.
Yes.
now, it is the only ones I probably recognize from Greece, not from here.
Yeah.
Ah, well, yeah, that one is a ray. I thought I wrote it down here. Oh, it's on top of it's a spotted eagle ray.
That's
Spotted
what
eagle ray. Okay.
that's what Kuwaratsi mentioned.
Oh, okay. Now, of course, Kubarasi is here. He will identify.
And some mackerels, correct? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's see. Same place, but different. But this can be very colorful. Can be also very can stink a little bit. Although fresh fish should not stink.
No.
But you see, there is a kettle egret somewhere.
Yeah, and a
Yeah,
crow.
yes.
Yep, underneath the umbrella. Or
Yeah, there you go. So always spotting birds here. It's unbelievable. So this is now at the coast again. This is in the town of Galle.
Yes.
so that didn't get damaged then from
By the Portuguese in
storm,
16
obviously.
something. Yeah. And then the Dutch took over Sri Lanka from the Portuguese, and then the English came. As a matter of fact, my family name is a common Sri Lankan family name. And then I said, "Oh, you're called Pereira." And I said, "We have lots of Pereiras in Sri Lanka." It's a Portuguese name. Yes, yeah, I know it's a Portuguese name. And then they list all the other. We had this talk was very funny. By the car rental, that's where it started. When I said they saw my name, oh yeah, we have lots of Pereiras here, yeah. And then they list other Portuguese family names that are, let's say, very common in Sri Lanka. So from the 60 or 80 years that the Portuguese were there, we intermingled with the local population. There is even a bakery called Pereira and Sons everywhere, which I thought is very interesting. Unfortunately, we didn't go. Next time. So this is on the same fort, and because it was a fort used by 3 different countries other than the colonizers, you have Portuguese, Dutch, and English cannons there. It's quite interesting to see. I think this was an English cannon. This one is a Portuguese cannon. And I think this was a Dutch cannon. So because my wife is Dutch and I'm Portuguese, we were there like, let's see if we find any of our cannons that that we left here. But anyway, I must say, although we did colonize parts, not entirely, and we were not very friendly to them, but in many situations, every time I said I was Portuguese, they were always very friendly. Oh, you guys were here and whatever. And I said, not me personally, but but they were always very, maybe because we were the first that arrived, I don't know, they were always very positive and say, yeah, this and that. It was very nice. Same fort at night.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's one of the thing was, we went to visit the fort, but the fort looks like any fort in Europe from that period. But for Sri Lanka is, of course, unique. But the houses inside of the fort, although it's very touristic, it's very nice, it's very clean, it's very unlike it's completely unlike Galle outside of the fort. You walk outside of the fort and it's a mess and things are, it's a haven compared to the reality outside. So that's if you see the 2 sides of Galle, it's very interesting because inside is very clean, very touristic, very expensive. You go outside, it's like any harbor city in the world. It's not nice, and then it gets progressively better as you get to the rest of the town. And you also have tropical fruits. When my wife took this picture, I had no idea what the fruits were. That one, it was the only one I recognized. Durians are these ones here. They smell. If you open these things, oh my God.
Yeah.
Everybody runs away.
Yep.
Durians are forbidden in public transportation in most Southeast Asian countries because of the smell of the fruit.
So they smell bad, but people eat it anyway.
It's very, very tasty.
Yes.
Very flesh-like. And then we have Mangustan Zir, which I only had to find out later what they were. And this one is it's related to the lychee. It's a rambutan. But we didn't buy any, to be honest. These are, it's a tea plantation. Most people that work in tea plantations are Tamils, and Tamils, let's say, most of the Tamils that now live in Sri Lanka were actually originally brought by the British to work in the tea plantations as, let's say, cheaper labor. And because India and Sri Lanka were part of the British Empire, a lot of Tamils came from the south of India to work in Sri Lanka. And although I think there were already Tamils in Sri Lanka originally before before the British brought even more to work there. But where you see more Tamils or less Tamils is you see a Tamil temple, then you know, oh, the people have the Hindu belief, so they are Tamils. The local, well, they are local as well, but the Buddhists have different temples, but they will be also next to each other, both temples. I don't have an idea how the two, let's say, ethnicities live next to each other now, because in the past there were a lot of problems in the northwest.
That was one of my questions about the security, how it is lately.
Well, we did not go to that part of Sri Lanka. I heard it's okay.
All right.
The Tamil tigers, correct? That was their guerrilla forces in the north.
You see a lot in Sri Lanka, and for me that tells everything. It's safe for everybody there.
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
No, it's 100% safe. That's what the people that I know. It's funny that after I said, we are going to Sri Lanka, or we've been there, it's funny that there were people that I knew that I didn't know they were in Sri Lanka even like 30 years ago, and they all say the same. It's very friendly. People are very nice. We did not go to the northwest part of Sri Lanka, more to keep the trip, let's say, more compact and not to drive that much. But no, with the experience that I have now, I don't expect it to be any dangerous up in the north. But I don't know the politics of the country. Let's put it that way. Where I went, I felt safe, and everybody was cheerful, and it's one of the friendliest countries. I went to several countries in Southeast Asia, and my wife was, because a lot of the people there also speak English. Maybe because of it, a lot of people come to you and ask you where you come from and what you do and whatever, but without having the intention to have anything from you. They were just curious. Very, very friendly. And the food is great. Food is great.
Good to know.
This is roughly in the same area, also a tea plantation. Unfortunately, a lot of these tea plantations destroyed most of the forest there, but there are areas around some tea plantations, and they are doing it more and more to keep the edges or the slopes forested because of erosion. That is done more and more, and they have in some areas, I don't say particularly here, but where they have trees planted and they lift the trees with the root system to avoid the erosion. We went to a museum and we saw that they were explaining. This is high in the mountains, Nuara Elia. Many of the houses are built in English colonial style. We are very high in the mountains, and it was quite cool early in the morning. What I realized after driving is that they dry the rice on the side of the road.
Oh.
And this is after they clean it, because the first time when we passed on the other direction, they had everything spread almost until the center line. So we were driving. So everybody was driving on one lane basically, and staying away from the rice. These are the piles of rice at the end of the day when the rice is dry. But early in the morning, it was all spread a few meters more to the left and to the right of what you see now.
Oh my God.
So it was challenging us sometimes. So is he going to break, or shall I break? Or no, it all went well. It all went well. And this is the next. So you see the rice there at the end here.
Yeah.
It's still there. And then they put all the rice. They just shove it into those big bags. And then later on, we saw it as well. Then this big truck comes and everything is loaded. And the next morning, it looks like it's all okay. I'm not sure how often they do this per day or maybe at the end of the season. But on this particular day, along the entire 60 kilometers, every few kilometers, there was rice spread just to dry in the sun.
Wow.
But you see that this is like a marsh on this side. They don't have much space that is dry in this area. So I do understand that they need the road to dry the rice, but I didn't expect it, let's say.
Yeah.
Along the same road, and the bags are ready to be collected, pretty much. This is in Kitulgala. We took this little ferry with this gentleman that is pedaling everybody from one side of the river to the other. And this is there is a nature reserve with a forest area on the right-hand side. So the day before, we went down to the river to see, is this the right place for the ferry? Because you read and you check and you want to believe it's there. So we went there the evening before just to be sure that it was there for the next morning. And that's the boat that there were people swimming, there were people having a bath there. It was very, very entertaining. We also did the touristic thing. This is in Sigiriya. There are two rocks that come out of the bottom. These are gneiss and granite formations. I'm pretty sure Gustavo can. This is called an Inselberg.
Okay.
It's a volcanic form. These are two volcanic forms. So we are also taking a picture from one of those rocks as well that you see at the distance. The rock where we were is kind of broader than the one we are looking at, but we are more or less at the same height, I think.
Wow.
You can also walk to the top of the rock you see there. There was an old palace on top of this rock. And it's very popular for sunsets and sunrises. Now, I didn't want to come here for a sunrise because they said, but we can bring you there. It costs so many dollars and you're walking in the dark. And I said, no, we just go there during the day when we want.
Yeah,
so,
one step too far and then you're gone.
Yeah, but you know how it goes, and I know how it goes with my family. They go like, okay, no, we don't do this touristical thing and whatever. So you end up doing the same thing also in the middle of. We ended up doing a sunset instead of a sunrise. So to avoid all the tourists, we ended up going at the same time as all the tourists. That's always the way. But we drove by car, we parked there, and we're like, okay, we go that way. And I'm going to show you a picture on how busy this thing was.
Oh my God!
Whoa.
So we started to walk, and like, a lot of cars parked here, but there is nobody here. Like, okay, so let's go up. We went up, and then the path starts normal, gets narrower, narrower, and then there is people stopped, and they're like, so what's happening? Yeah, nobody can go through because everything is blocked. I said, okay. So what do? We go up, yeah, and then we say like, we are here already. Let's go. Let's wait. So it took us more than an hour to come up this way. We actually come up this way. This is my wife looking to the crowd.
Oh my God!
So we made it to the top, and then we decided to leave before the sunset. We thought it's going to be quiet. No, this is nobody was able to. There was a guy, luckily here, this gentleman. He was telling you, these 5 people can go down, these 5 can go up, and then the next 5, and then the next 5.
Oh my God!
You can imagine, because this is very narrow and steep, and there were people with babies and children. Look.
Yeah.
So we ended up going down in the dark, but okay. There were thousands of people up there, so we felt okay. If we can go down, the others can go as well. So this is one of the most popular means of transport, the local tuk-tuk. So this one needed some repair. We did take a tuk-tuk once, I think. This is one of the popular train tracks that you have there in Sri Lanka. Part of the tracks were blocked because of last season's rain. And there was a train that was going to pass here in, let's say, half an hour, and everybody was there waiting for the train. We didn't really have time to wait because we had to drive to another national park. But anyway, we saw the bridge and we believe that there is a train there. So there were a lot of people that wanted to take a picture of the train. Maybe that's something for next time. And look at that. Now we start with the animals. Any questions so far? I'll drink a bit of coffee in the meantime.
Well, for me particularly, you have answered all my questions until now with your narrative.
Okay. No,
narration is enough.
So other than tea, what do they tend to export to make money?
I don't think we'll have anything.
Not that much. Well, yeah. Tourism is a big thing there. Tea, they had an agreement with, this is not political, this is true. They had a tea for oil agreement with Iran until this year. So they give tea because they had a deficit with Iran, and Iran gives them all oil.
Yeah. That's good.
And when I heard that, like, is this true? So I went to check online. Yeah, it is true. It is. That's the way it is called. No, tea is by far the biggest export. We had the same discussion even with other tourists. In Sri Lanka, it's very easy to talk to other tourists because we tend to go to the same places and so. No, it's pretty much tea and tourism, I think. But their national parks are great, so you will see. Okay, so now I start the pictures that I really took with wildlife. I'll start with smaller animals and we go progressively to bigger animals or to more exotic animals. I don't know the name of this bee, but it was at night with a flash and the Z52 on that forest. This is an Indian fritillary, yeah. I recognize, this is one of the few butterflies I recognize because they all look the same all over the world. At least the general genus. Shape. Yes. So, but this is the Indian fritillary. This is a very, very big
centipede.
I mean, centipede. This was, wow. I don't know, a whole palm of my hand would not be enough for the size of this centipede. And he was here, I don't know if he was eating or something. And this is like
vines.
Yeah, exactly. That grows.
Vine. Yeah.
Exactly. That grows into the trees. And this is the root system. But this is also the Z52. Every macro is a Z52 with a flash. And with the 90 millimeter Tamron. That lens that I have now for 20 years, and it works perfectly with the Z system. It focuses automatically as well.
Nice leads.
Yeah, I didn't see that many, luckily. I did have one in my pants, so I had to remove it. This is one stretching. They're actually gross and funny to see at the same time, but they are tough to photograph. I mean, it's not easy. They don't stay still. You never know how they're going to turn, and my God. And taking a profile photo is horrible. It's difficult, but I did try. So again, Z52 with a flash.
Well, you succeed.
Yeah, maybe next time if I'm bored, because I mean, if people start taking pictures of leeches, there is nothing else to do. I mean, really.
Oh, that's
Yeah. This is one of these fish that I didn't write it. It's a blenny, I forgot to write it here, but it's
It
I
looks like
checked the name before.
look like a mud skipper type of thing.
It is, yeah. They
must be the same
it is,
same
it is,
family.
it is the same time, but these ones
Wow.
stick themselves to the rocks,
Yes.
and this is between waves, and these they're
Wow.
eating, and so it's not particularly easy to photograph these fellows. I took this one with the 500 PF.
Yeah, it looks nice, particularly when you go close up. A
Yeah,
lot of
no,
detail.
you have to wait at a distance, and this is with full sun, and this is like at 11 in the morning. The sun is from above. You don't see any. Yeah, you see the shades there, but with a bit of luck, and if they're a little bit on the side, and you take the distance because if you approach them, they go away. This is no macro shot. Yeah, but this is there is no crop on this picture. You're at a distance and you look at the waves and you think, I have maybe 30 seconds. And if they stay still, no, this is what you get. So it's
Wow.
possible. This is a
Nice.
different species. This one I wrote down. This is a lined rock skipper, but it's the same type of behavior, same type of, there is water there, but they are, this is an intertidal area. So there is always one wave coming and then one wave going, and they move position and then they start eating on the algae. And
Yeah, you can see its teeth. You could see its teeth when you zoomed in. It looked like at the top anyway.
yeah, so right.
Yeah.
But this is like a flap that if they are in the water, this goes up, just like the fins there at the back.
Incredible.
Which
detail.
area was this?
This was in the south coast, extreme south. But I suppose it'll be everywhere where there are rocks.
Probably, yeah.
This time of the day, it was so warm that I was going to the sun to try to photograph these fellows, and then going back to a palm tree to be in the shade for a while.
Wow.
Okay, this is a Rohan's globular frog. So, very shallow depth of field at night, and this frog was in my shower, the shower of where we were. I don't know if I was taking a shower, but I saw it there, and let's bring it outside and try to take a picture. But as you can imagine, it didn't stay there for that long. So you just try to guess what if the depth of field is good enough. I know I took a few, but this is the only one that was sharp in the eyes. I wasn't successful. Sometimes I can take 2 or 3 and try to put them together, but I didn't work with this one. The pictures, I mean. This is a purple-rumped sunbird.
Yeah.
Nice.
The very harsh light. It's nice, but I didn't succeed on having let's say the sun from behind, a little bit like this. But they are so dark. This one is not very sharp, but I like the composition.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, you have to. They're never still. So if you can get something like this, I think, oh, that's already okay. But they're not easy to photograph. A scaly-breasted munia. These are in Southeast Asia. They are very common. And this is a tea bush.
Oh.
Maybe this one is dead, but okay, this is a munia. Let's go further. This is also a munia taking off, but
Nice.
it is sharp, but yeah.
No, good. So good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I prefer to have the wing spreads, but there we go.
Well, that's why we have the Z9.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But they move. Asian green bee eaters. I was surprised how many bee eaters were there, and this one is taken from the jeep during a safari. But maybe because it's a national park, they just stay most of they stay there put. They don't go away normally. You just have to find a good background because this for me was the first time in, let's say, a safari with a guide and so on, and I did not want to. And he's looking for other things, and I don't. He knew I like birds, so because of it, and he knew a lot of species. He was an excellent guide. Because with other people, he would not stop for half the times that he did. That they tried to show elephants and whatever, but he looked for every single bird that he would see, and if I would see, he would stop. But after a few of these Asian bee eaters, I thought, I'm not going to stop for every bee eater. Let's just continue.
Beautiful photo.
Indian peacock. I wasn't successful on taking a nice full picture of a Indian peacock in the wild. I've seen them in many other countries, but they are feral. But there, they live there, and you do see them just eating. And but you see them everywhere. I mean, you don't need to go to a national park to see them. In any field, you can see an Indian peacock. But this one, yeah, it's a nice. It was too close for the lens that I had, and I was taking a picture from above, so it wouldn't be a nice picture either. But as a close up, it works. It works okay.
Nice portrait.
Yes. This is a house crow. Yeah, this is a house crow in that fort that I showed you the pictures before. This is the only one that kind of worked with the sun behind. I don't like this one peeking here, but on the other hand, well, why not? I had another idea. I did try, and with the wings more this or that, but yeah, this is the only one that worked.
Yeah, that's nice.
Open
Asian, yeah. Asian open bill. You see them in many other countries. They eat those big water snails.
Wow.
I don't know, Botswana.
A water
You have
snail
them
is like
in Australia as well, probably. Yeah?
No.
Huh?
No.
No, but
I first saw them in Botswana.
Yeah, that's the African, I suppose, but it's pretty much the same shape. Same shape.
Yeah. It is dark color. It's blackish.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
That one I don't know. These are painted storks.
Nice.
They were a bit in the shade. I needed a little bit of processing to get rid of them being white and the shade being really dark. This one is heavily processed, and they are not nicely separated from the background anyway. But this is a type of animal that you can see there. This is a bigger one. This is a lesser adjutant. A mean-looking.
Yeah, he was looking at you or somewhere else.
Yeah, he was looking at me. This was at the end of the day, and I stopped my car. It was already adjacent. Sorry, Gustav, what did you say?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, sorry. No, but this I wanted to see this one from closer. I'd seen this guy in Malaysia, I think. But in the national parks in Sri Lanka, you can approach animals really, really nicely. So they do fly away after a while. This was along the road. I stopped, so he was curious looking at me. But along the road is funny because there are people passing by in motors, in mopeds and tuk-tuks, and sometimes they stop and they start pointing to you if they realize that you are a tourist. That happened to me. Some guy saying, "Oh, there is an elephant there," and then you're driving. You're like, "Am I safe here?" But yeah, we'll come to that. This is an even bigger one. This is a black-necked stork. Those you have in Australia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when we passed here the first time, they were standing up, but not in a nice place. Second time we passed by, he was like this. He didn't stand up at all while we were there. So okay, but
I was
please.
making a joke about it the other time. I had a photograph of this one, and I will say that I can understand why they're calling it black, but because they are blue.
Yeah, but I only realized that once I saw the picture.
Yeah.
When I was there, I didn't see the blue that
And because
much.
of the light, yeah, the contrast.
Yeah, yeah, but it is true. It is true.
Looks like somebody broke its legs the way it's sitting there.
Oh.
Definitely a variety of storks, Luis.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, there are quite a lot of humid areas like this one. This is also in the same general area. This is a pheasant-tailed jacana. Again, this is a sort that a species that I had seen before, but there I could see from a lot closer. Although this is a big crop with the 600 PF.
Okay.
But it stayed nicely between the water lilies. This is a great stone curlew. A picture taken from above. Okay, not ideal, but if you are in these national parks, you cannot leave the jeep.
Oh.
Because there are leopards, that there are other animals, and that's the policy. You have to stay inside of the jeep. So you have to live with the situation. I didn't have that thing that Terry was taking a camera way low. I have to think about something like that. But anyway, this is a little cormorant flying around. This is in central Sri Lanka. Although you're far from the sea, these little cormorants, you can see them where there is water. Spot-billed pelican. He had a huge fish here.
Yeah.
It was at the end of the day. The ISO is I can't see it from here exactly, but it's right at the end of the day. Anyway, it was relatively close by, and I didn't have any picture of them other than from very, very far. So I was happy to see them.
Yeah.
Lesser whistling ducks with these young ones.
Yeah.
The whole family.
The whole family, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, this is a picture from above. Again, I cannot leave the jeep, so that's it. White-throated kingfisher. This is one of the most common kingfishers you have there. But this one is nicely separated from the background.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love those kingfisher.
Yeah. White-bellied sea eagle. I think you have these in Australia as well, up in the north.
Yes.
No, the north probably, yeah, because I haven't seen around.
Okay. The Brahimicite. Yeah, these are more widespread. This is also a huge crop. This is not. It was not really close by this one, but it was by a marsh. There were a few dead trees there. This is one flying.
Nice.
Sri Lanka grey hornbill. We're going now into the forests. This was not an easy picture to take full in the sun here, and the rest was in the dark. It's the best picture I could take of this species. I've seen it in different places, either very high or not. This one was nearby, but with a terrible light. But that's the way it is. This is one in a nest. Was bringing food to the female, I think, which was inside of the nest. I was surprised how small the cavity was. I somehow expected it to be a lot bigger.
Yeah, because of their bill, anyway.
Yeah. We were here with the guides. He knew that there was a nest, so we waited. But while I was very casual and cool, like let's see when it comes, there were there was a jeep behind us with this humongous lens, and you don't believe how many times that jeep changed position in an attempt to get a better light
Better angle.
or,
Yeah.
or whatever. And that was before the bird even showed up. I didn't believe the bird was going to show up anymore.
Yeah.
But at some stage I was looking to them instead of looking to the cavity. And I don't know if they took a picture, because you see the sun is coming from that side and it's dead opposite. So this is full in the shade.
Yeah.
That's why they. But okay, I'm a little bit more relaxed than other photographers with. Because I said to my wife, with that lens, he must certainly he's too close for this. But it was not the ideal position for any type of picture. If we would be left or right, would probably be better. But anyway, this is a different species of hornbill.
Nice.
This is a Malabar pied hornbill, extremely common. I've at least in the dry areas in that national park, we saw dozens of them at some stage, and huge groups, but difficult to take a decent picture as they were moving. And this one, he is kind of free here, but again, the light is from that side. So it's because it turned its face that he got some light from there. Then again, if we have one day of safari and you have to photograph everything, it's not easy. If you're
Yeah.
only looking for elephants, you have the whole day to find an elephant. But if you want to see a little bit of everything in one day, it's challenging. Oh, this is one flying by.
Nice.
That
I
beautiful.
know there is a difference between male and female, but no, this, yeah, I think it's this part of the
Yeah.
bill. This one is longer.
The casket.
Yeah. They're pointy.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. No, this is a very boring bird, but one that only lives in Sri Lanka. So I wanted to see him. The yellow-billed babbler. Only saw him once. So, okay, I have a picture. Excellent. There is one which is a lot more common, and it's everywhere. But on those remnants of wet tropical forest, you have like 32. I'm not sure. I think it's in the 30s. Endemics that you can only see those in that part of Sri Lanka. So that's why I dragged my wife twice into a forest for several days. In fact, to two different forests to see those. This would be and she likes. Well, maybe not 5 days, but 2 days would be okay for her. But those are the places where if you see a bird trip to Sri Lanka, that's where everybody goes to. But of course, I don't want to take my wife for 2 weeks into the forest to see occasionally a bird. You know how it goes in the forest. So that's the compromise bit. I did see this one, great. Saw a few others later. This is a rosy starling. These ones are only in Sri Lanka for about a month or 2 months.
All right.
They breed in Eastern Europe and in, let's say, Northern Asia. And I was very happy to see this one because this is a species you have in Europe, but normally you don't see them in Western Europe at all. Occasionally one flies and then everybody goes and tries to see it. But this is one that at least as a European, I wanted to see this one. And then we have the Sri Lankan jungle fowl. We heard it a few times. It's different than, let's say, the red jungle fowl, because this orange is different.
Yeah.
There are a few things which are different.
It's like a rooster.
Yeah, it is a rooster, but it's a different species than the one that we have, let's say, tame, as that we eat almost daily, let's say. This is a different species. I heard it a few times that you do recognize it as being a chicken, but they don't, or a rooster, but that it's not the same sound. If you would go on eBirds and listen to it, you would say like, oh, that's a odd. It's a rooster with some kind of disease on his on these vocal tracks. It's not. It doesn't sound. You know what it is, but it's a bit different. I heard it a few times. I saw it occasionally, and this is the only one I actually saw in the forest. We walked in the forest, and this male just walked past us, and I thought, oh, if that's what they do, great. I'll take a better picture later. Never saw them again.
Beautiful.
Never saw them again. This one just passed by. I couldn't get the tail, couldn't get the feet, and then never saw them. I heard them, but never saw them again. There we go. And this is a very small bottom quail, mother or I think it's the female and the chick.
Yeah.
And they are looking for food. And again, I took this picture from the jeep. The guide saw them. I saw them, went on the left, stayed there, and they were very cool. They were close to the jeep, and then I could take a picture of. Normally, you hear these bottom quails calling, but I'd never seen one. But there were like 4 or 5 there altogether. This is also an endemic scimitar babbler, the Sri Lanka scimitar babbler. These guys were tough. This is the only decent picture I have of this species. He was looking from top of the leaves, and they saw me, and they would move. I would move, go after them. They would see me and then go away. And then anyway, got him. Dark-fronted babbler. This one is a lot more common. It's not completely sharp, but it's the best picture I got. These are very skunky birds, always in the undergrowth. You do see them from time to time. They're not difficult to spot, but it's difficult to get a picture.
Mm.
Sri Lanka, white eye, another
That's
endemic.
a nice one. Nice composition.
Yeah, this was in the middle of a town. See, there are buildings here, and I don't know what, but okay, it's the best of what I could make of the background. And they were again moving all the time. You guys know how little birds are, but this is also an endemic only from the high mountains in the south of Sri Lanka. So very happy to see it. This is an Indian paradise flycatcher.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a female. You'll see the male in a minute. They are not rare, but I only saw it a few times. This was also taken from the jeep on that trip, and it's a female. I think I have the male here. That's a male.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huge
So
tail. Yeah. And this is just outside. Went for a walk close to the lodge where we were staying. There were lots of birds around there, and this is and he was not afraid of me, but moving, and always in the shade. It was warm. That's why we had this break during lunch. And this is like a bit of a close-up.
Beautiful.
But 600
very nice
PF.
bird.
Yeah, very nice bird. But it's to get the entire tail, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is that? No, it's,
Yeah, that's like man, that's like the length of a garden hose.
yeah, and it's not well. It's a small bird, but it's kind of sparrow type, maybe a little bit bigger than a sparrow. But then with such a tail and with the 600 PF, I mean, you're always too close. But then I looked at the pictures and I want a close up, so you need to get closer, but you can only get these. But this is a crop from the previous one.
That's good enough.
Yeah. There is noise here because he was in the. You see how light it was at the back, and I'm full in the shade. Still, I think it's a good one.
Ooh,
That's a cutie.
Black-naped monarch. This one is taken with a very low ISO. I'm sorry, I can not see the ISO from here, but I'll have a look later. Very low ISO. It's not sharp, but I like the composition. See all the noise.
Yeah.
But I think I'm holding this at like 1/50th of a second. Because it was dark. It was just in the middle of the forest. dual blue flycatcher, also in the shade, always in the shade. And this is a
Oh,
changeable hawk eagle. Now this fellow flew in front of the jeep as we were driving and stopped at eye level next to the road, maybe a little bit lower, because we were like the road was higher than the adjacent ground on the right.
he was asking
I
for a
didn't,
photograph.
I think so. I didn't see it. My wife and the guide saw it. I was looking the other way. So so he backtracked. Well, he just went backwards, and I was like, when I saw it, asked the guy to stop and switch off the engine, the motor, and I took a couple of pictures, and this is the best one. End of the day, very dark, but it's a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
Lots of noise, but we don't talk about it. This bird is white from the front. You don't see any white, but he's completely white from the throat down.
Oh, beauty.
Oh, cute one.
This is a Indian pitta, again, very dark. These birds, and this leaf is actually going until here, unfortunately, but okay.
That's all right.
They spend the winter in the south of India and in Sri Lanka, especially in the mountains. We were walking in this park in the area of Kandy, and I realized there were a few other birders in the same park. And I had seen on eBird what you could see there, and we saw a few other endemics. And I had forgotten about the Indian pitta, because Indian pittas, they can be anywhere because they spend the winter in Sri Lanka. It's not an endemic species. I was more targeting the endemic ones, but this one is also difficult because they breed, let's say, in the north of India, and they spend the winter in the south of India and Sri Lanka. And then as we were walking, I thought, oh yeah, there is just this pitta here. So I went on eBird with my mobile phone, and I played the call just to remind me of how it sounded. And I got two responses immediately from two different birds.
No.
One left and one right of me. And I thought, oh, hang on a second. That's probably what the other guys were looking for. So I started searching, and then I found this one. And it was
You lost him?
was very relaxed. There were military guys there, and I was there with my camera, and I was off the path, and so I thought I better tell them what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I explained it to him, and he started pointing to all other birds that were there. No, but those birds I've seen, I want to take a picture of that one there. So I showed him a picture I'd taken on my camera, and then I said, oh, that's fine, just go, it's no problem. So I stayed there with their blessing, and then this one. It was, after all, the best I could do. Although there is this leaf here, it was quiet, but you can see it was in between the vegetation. It was difficult.
There's always a leaf. There's always a leaf or a stick or a branch or something. It seems like.
If you see this picture, you think easy, but I had to find an opening, and this was the best opening I could find.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it anyway.
No, looks good.
Now, what are all of these people
What species are they?
Yeah, those look like humans.
They look like humans. Well, it's a funny story. They are all Taiwanese except for this guy. It's a Sri Lankan
They looks
guy.
like.
Yeah. So, and this is like a river full of junk and full of plastic bags and I don't know what. But it's the best place to see a few species, and I knew that, and they knew it. And I ended up going to this garden a couple of times in 3 days. And the first day I went there, I did not see what I wanted. And then the second day I went, and there was this group, and there was also an English couple, which was not with them, but was also looking for a flycatcher. And
They're endemic species, are they?
No, I will show you exactly what we were looking for. This little bird. It's a Kashmir flycatcher, and this is extremely dark, extremely dark. Now, I will show you on a map where they only breed in a few valleys in Kashmir. Kashmir is a place in the north of India where no tourists can
Yeah.
go because of the political situation there. I mean, not even Indians and Pakistan, they've been fighting for that area for decades. So it's a species that lives in the Himalayas in a very restricted area, and they spend the winter in a very restricted area in the mountains of Sri Lanka and the south of India. And this is probably the best place you can go to try to find them. I think the previous day I took a picture of what I thought was a brown flycatcher. Ended up being, I found out later, it was a female of this species.
Mm.
This is the male. This is again the male. So we went back. And then I found the male, took a few of these pictures, and then I went back. And then I saw this English couple, and I asked them, "Were you guys looking for the?" And of course, they were looking for it. And I said, "Okay, so they are here." So I showed them where they were. I showed it to the lady. She went, she ran to get her husband because he was somewhere else with the camera trying to look for the animal. And me and my wife, we just went for a walk because we had seen it. We told them we were looking for, and then we came back, and then we saw that all the Taiwanese were there.
Yeah.
So I decided to go there and say, thanks to me, you guys saw the bird. So obviously, a bit of pride. So I went to talk to them, and it was quite funny. So you can see here,
Oh my
this
God.
is where the animal breeds, and this is where they spend the winter.
All right.
And this is one of the species that all the tours, when they go to Sri Lanka in the winter, go to this park, same spot,
Try to catch it. Huh?
and try to catch it. Now, I did not know where in the park it would be found, so I went through all the edges. The park was very neatly cleaned, so I thought no flycatcher is going to be here. So I thought it can only be on the edges of the park. So went through all the edges, and when I saw the river full of insects, could be here, and it was there, in fact.
Oh, hello.
This is another endemic. Only saw him once, and this is taken in front of the car with the lights on, and he's on the surface of the tarmac. I mean, this is before sunrise. These guys are very well. They are endemic to the high mountains of Sri Lanka. You hear them sometimes. You hardly see them, except very early in the morning. And he was crossing the road in front of the car. I stopped. I saw a previous one that I couldn't stop on time, and this one I stopped on time, and he stayed there, and I took a picture. Extremely noisy, but I don't care. It's the only picture of this species. It's a very difficult one to catch. It's not looking very nice, but this is also one that everybody wants to see. Also endemic, Sri Lanka blue magpie. Oop,
Oh my God.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
very blue, very nice. Next time I have to go and take better pictures from this one. This is a frogmouth.
Yeah.
This is a Sri Lanka frogmouth. Actually lives in Sri Lanka, as the name says, but also in the southwest of India. It's a nephew of nightjars or whirlpool wills, as you have in the United States, chotacabras, whatever. But it's a different group. It's a different family, I think.
Oh my God.
And you
Well,
sleep
very
in.
similar with them, but they are more gray, more and white.
Yeah, there are several different species in in Asia, maybe in the north of Australia as well. I'm not sure.
We have it here in the south too.
Oh, look at that! You know more than me. But yeah, and this is a very noisy picture. This one I have to come back to this. Just give me a second. I'll have a quick look because I had a monopod, and even then it was so dark.
Wow.
It didn't work out very well. Let's see the ISO, or let's see, it's 1/15th of a second, and the ISO is 4,500.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
1/15th of a second. Okay, that tells it all. And I had the monopod, but I couldn't put the monopod as I wanted because it was in a slope. So even that was difficult. But anyway, saw it, got it. Next. When I saw this fish owl, I thought I will use this picture for a thumbnail and
Yeah.
for New Year's cards.
Nice
So
idea.
when you look that way, this is the only picture I took because this is also taken from the jeep. The guide knew he normally sleeps around there, but that he was so in the open, he didn't expect it. I didn't expect it, so he was just there.
No scumbarachi, just a frog mouth.
Oh yeah, nighthawks. Yeah, that's in America, right? You have the
Probably.
common nighthawk,
Yes.
for instance. Yeah. So this is the brown fish owl, and this is with the 600 PF, and this is all. I actually would have preferred to be a little bit further, but okay. There was another car behind, so take a picture and just go. I had the 180 to 600 with me as well, but I decided not to waste any time because we were going to eat. I think the picture is good anyway.
Very good.
Yeah.
No, it's
Looks
fine.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
if
you
you
would,
wanna,
oh,
yeah,
sorry.
you want to be able to have a decent size on it in the image too. So
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
sound like you don't like to edit your photographs.
Oh, I do. Yeah, but luckily I was with my wife because the trips with my wife. I don't take 50,000 pictures like some people that I know. But it's still, sorry, it does take it takes because it's a lot of time. I like processing, but it takes a lot of time.
Oh well, I spent
Well,
2 months to clean up mine.
yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's a
So
nice one.
this is the most.
That's must be rare.
This is the rarest bird. I'm sorry, owl on Earth.
I knew it.
This is a Serendip scops owl, and I will just quickly have a look when it was discovered because I think it was in the 2000s, and we went to that where I showed you that little ferry that this guy was pedaling people from one side of the river to the other. We went to the forest, and we just went to the gate. And I had the day before I was trying to find a guide to take me there, and it was difficult. I had a few telephone numbers from possible guides. I went to a restaurant. They tried to call this one guide. He didn't answer the phone. I left a message, and long story short, I had no guide when I went there. Fine, I'll go there. But they had a local guy that lived in a village there that knew where this owl was. And he asked me if I wanted to go. I said, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did not speak English or very little English. And yeah, but he knew where this owl was. The owl was in the middle of twigs and everything. It was a nightmare to. And that guide, let's say, was very conscious of not to disturb the owl. He said, "Don't do this or don't get closer." And I said, "Don't worry, I will not." I also respect the distance, and this was the best I could take from a angle where the sun and the
What is your
shades and
name,
everything.
Luis? What is your name?
The Serendip, Serendib, Serendip scops owl.
Okay.
It was
Very
it
nice.
was it was seen for the first time in January 2001, and it
Yes.
The
was
moment I
described.
saw it, I knew it was a rare. The environment, everything, your photograph, it gives me that. That's a rare bird.
To trip where he is known to live, and this is all of Sri Lanka, and he only lives in some areas there, as far as people know. So we go to the mammals, and then we go to the reptiles, and we will be done. This is an Indian palm squirrel in that park where the Kashmir flycatcher was. Very common, but not always there when you want to photograph it.
Yeah.
A ruddy mongoose, you see them walking along the roads from time to time. It looks like I'm at eye level, but I'm quite far from in the jeep, so it works. There are several species of mongoose in Sri Lanka. I thought there was only one, and then discovered from the guides that there are different species. But this is the ruddy mongoose. I think is one of the species we saw the most. You have the torque macaques, and these macaques are on top of that big rock with all the tourists. That's where these macaques are. They are looking to all the tourists and thinking, "What are you guys doing here?"
Yeah, the tourists looking them and they looking the tourists.
Exactly.
Food. They're like asking for food.
Not here
No,
too.
I don't know what they were. If they didn't, they were not asking for food then, but they were like they probably wanted to go down, but they couldn't because everybody was blocking the way. Anyway, they were there looking at us. This is
That's
the
nice.
second species of langur that you have, of monkey that you have in Sri Lanka. These are bigger, terrestrial. They say it's more common. Actually, saw more of the other than these species, but somehow I never managed to get a better picture than this one. This is the rarest of the monkeys in Sri Lanka, purple-faced langur. This is a male, again, but in between all kinds of everything. But he was there.
Remind me some person around here. I'm not can't say names.
No, it's better. It's better
You mean
not
the
to.
mustache?
That's the Stewart look.
For sure,
Stewart
for
look.
sure looks better, but just reminds me the other one.
Oh well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
This is a female of the same species. Again, you see, I mean, shades, highlights, and twigs. Anyway, from below, you do what you can do. But it was very nice to see them so close. We were really below them and trying to see, at least I was trying to get an angle to have a picture of some kind. These are Indian flying foxes.
Come here, we have plenty.
You have plenty. Oh, very good. Sambar deer. They are common through Southeast Asia. This one was again in the shades. This was a difficult processing, to be honest, because this was really bright and this was really dark. And this was the only picture I could take of him from it, because we were not allowed to walk here or to the left. This was in a national park. We could only walk on this side, so we always had light from the front. So, and we could not even do it illegally because there were people everywhere. Not that I would do it, of course. You shouldn't do it. But there are some bar there. This is a lot better one. This is a shital. And this was the only time that male lifted his head to look at us. He was eating all the time, and luckily I was able to take this picture when he looked at us. And this, I believe in India, this is like the favorite food for tigers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Water buffalo. They have wild water buffalo in Sri Lanka, and this is a female with cubs, with calves. Did see a few males, but they were not very photogenic, except for this one. You see these birds?
Yeah.
Myna birds.
They are common
They
myna.
become pest here in Australia, these ones.
Yes, it's a bird it's forbidden to sell them in the European Union as a cage bird for the risk of invasion. They are native to Sri Lanka, so there it's okay. And they were
take
there.
over
So
our own miners.
They just hang on to it to eat flies and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this case, yes, they don't need buffaloes to search for food. They just scavenge everywhere for food. But in this particular case, they were there. It was the only time I saw them associated with buffalo. But it was a nice opportunity to try to get a picture of them. Now you start seeing elephants, and there is a buffalo there. There are two buffaloes on the left-hand side. These are young elephants, and this was in the Jeep, also in Yala National Park. And this is close. This is in Sri Lanka. In Singiria. So this group of females and youngsters, we went also on a safari, and this is very close to those two big rocks with all the tourists on top. There are a group of national parks all adjacent to each other in the same area. And we went there also, again, without the guides, but we knew there it's that easy to find. And the people where we were staying arranged a guide for us. I knew of a national park, and I thought that's the one that we have to go. But then they knew better, said, no, there are no elephants there. They are all on this other place. We went there, and indeed there were elephants there. I don't say everywhere, but there were lots of elephants to see there. I tried to take pictures at a distance because I had the 180 to 600. I think some of these I even took with the Z52 and the DX 18 to 300 when they got really close. 600 PF is not a good lens for this type of shots. But to get a bit of a perspective at the distance, I like to have them far. I realized because sometimes they are completely oblivious of the jeeps and they just walk next to you, and everybody's excited with their mobile phones, and I'm like, please get me out of here. There is a nice video on
You're
YouTube.
trying to get a selfie as the trunk wraps around their waist.
Yeah, true. There's a nice video of this English guy that went to look for tigers in India, and this video is great. And I had the same experience in Sri Lanka sometimes. I want to see them at a distance, also to have a bit of the environment, and everybody else wants to see them really next to the car. And this one was taken next. Sorry?
Little boy, isn't it?
Yeah. But this one was taken from my own car next to the road. There was no guide or anything. He was just next to the road. And this one was with the Z52.
Nice.
A young male with the tusks there. But I was with my wife like, are we okay here? No, I'm not sure. He was not that big. But I don't know what he was doing, but he was not alone. Now, this elephant has a story. This is a big one. And right at the back was that was the lodge where we were staying.
Oh.
And there were like these electric fences with this little wire that is allegedly electrified. Anyway.
To keep them out.
You remember the pictures of the paradise flycatcher that I showed you?
Yeah.
With a long tail. Now, I saw this elephant 5 minutes later when I was on my own, and I saw him about 30 meters, 50 meters from me, only with those three little wires separating him and me. And I froze, looked on my left to have an idea where the wind was blowing from, and it was blowing from him to me. I was very quick thinking. I was very proud of myself later. And then I realized, well, if he doesn't smell me, I'm not moving. Because I didn't trust the electricity thing anyway. So
you reckon they are so angry?
No, I did not know. Anyway, there was a pool of water there. There was a bit of a little hill in between us. And when he went down to get some water, I moved away. I went to the canteen or to the restaurant, and I told the guys, and they were all very excited. Yeah, there is this male elephant here, and there are not that many with a big tusk.
Yeah.
And so they were all very excited, except for me. Well, okay, very excited, but nice. Anyway, this picture I took later. So what happened? There was still some time for lunch, so I went with my wife for a walk. We didn't see anything, went back, and then we went out with the guide. And right where I was with my wife, half an hour earlier, the elephant was there.
Yeah.
And
Typical.
so, oh, he is here. And then I said, well, I saw him on the other side of the fence. So he must have crossed the fence to the other side. Yes. And then he was here. And then he went to the fence. After a few minutes, we saw him eating, took a lot of pictures. All of them I could throw away because of the background and so on. This one was really nice. And then he decided to go back to the other side. And what did he do? He went to one of the poles, and I think my wife has a video. He pulled he pushed the one of the poles down, so he knows the thing is electrified. Had a look at it, not satisfied. Pushed another one down, and then very quietly, 1 foot at a time, he passed to the other side.
Clever boy.
Clever boy. Now the guide was really impressed and said, "Well, and now with the fence, well, we just call the guys and they'll put the fence back up."
Oh my God. That is unfair.
You know, there are leopards everywhere in Sri Lanka.
Did you feel like lunch at the time you were taking this? Did you feel like you were the meal?
No, but this specific one, it's like if you see that video, I will try to look for it, of that English guy in India. He thinks, oh, we will see a tiger far away and I'm the only one there. There were cars everywhere. The guides knew that there was a leopard there from before. We just wait. So we just wait. And I thought, okay, I have the 180 to 600. I'll be fine. We'll just walk somewhere there. And then this leopard comes and starts walking between the cars. And then I took this picture, which is the only, this picture is taken at 180. And that's it. I could not take any other picture, any decent picture with no car or nothing in the way. He just passed between the cars, went to the bushes, and when he decided to come back, that's when I could take this, say, natural-looking picture. And then the amount of commotion and noise that people do for the Jeep to go in front or the Jeep to go back, and I don't know what, it's horrible. But this particular leopard has a name. It's called Lucas, has been there for many years. It's a male. They all know him. And he's used to the people. And then he just walked and just went to the bush and disappeared. He's well fed, so he's not bothered by us. Then later we saw this one. And the guide said, this, for me, he does not know this one. So it's a, let's say, unknown leopard. He's a new guy, he's a new leopard. This is the most complicated processing I've ever done on a picture, because the background was overexposed and he's full in the dark. I asked the guide as well to switch off the engine. He's fully in the shades, and I'm hand holding, and it's full of noise, but it's okay.
That's all right.
It's the best I could do with, like, this is okay. This is a 600 PF from very, very far. But he was asleep, and sometimes he would, and when he's asleep, then everybody's in the jeeps, because we were not alone. They are just chatting and so on. Then he starts to look around, and everybody goes nuts, because if I'm on a good spot, everybody wants to come to my spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because I have an opening between.
Yeah.
Between some branches or shrubbery or whatever. Yeah.
Just moving off the spot, although it is a good spot. You have to be smart. And when he looks at you, take all the pictures and then just pretend it's not good, and then you keep staying there because everybody's looking for a good spot in the jeep. It's really the law of the jungle there.
Yep.
So this is a very common lizard. This is a common green forest lizard, a female, a male, and another male. And these are all taken from, this one is taken at the beach with a 180 to 600. Same place as those fish that were off the water, the blenny. So when I was in the shade, I was looking for this fellow, and when I was in the water, in the sun, looking for the fish.
Are
This
they
is from the
common, Luis?
yes, I saw them a lot. I saw them a lot. Like these, I did not see that many, but this is a male, maybe it's with displaying colors. This one I only saw once, is a black-cheeked lizard. I heard one guide saying it's a chameleon. I tried to argue that, saying that no, it's not a chameleon. Yes, there is a chameleon. Then I said,
No.
fine, it's a chameleon.
Whatever.
Whatever. That was quite funny. But anyway, this was a more touristic area, so he was not really a wildlife guide. You know what I mean? It's like a general guide saying to their people, it's a chameleon. I said, nope, it's not a chameleon.
It's not coming.
Fine, if you say it's a chameleon, it's great, it's a chameleon. This is
Yeah,
an oriental garden lizard, very common in other parts of Asia, at least that I've seen, but I only saw these once at the coast. I didn't even know they were there, but this one was there. Took me a while to get this picture, but okay, there was nothing else to take a picture of, so great, a little lizard. Sri Lanka bronze skink, also with a 600 PF at a distance. Not easy to see, but with a macro, you need a 600 PF or let's say a 500 plus mil to take a picture of these fellas. They will just hide if you get closer. This is pretty much the same, but maybe this one is more accustomed to clients. This is the lodge where this is after I saw the elephant and I could get my breath back. I decided, it's a skink. I'll take a picture of it as well. Asian water monitor. This is a juvenile, a very small one. He's climbing up the rocks on that fort. I was surprised to see him there, but okay, if he's there, I'll take a picture.
No, that guy would have told you that was a Komodo dragon, right?
No, this one here, yeah.
This one
would be a Komodo dragon. This is a Bengal monitor. I knew it was not the same as the one before, but I wasn't sure. I only found out exactly what it was later. So this is like the Indian version of other types of monitors. This is a Bengal monitor. There's a different. See, this one is a more pointy nose. Although it's a juvenile, they will become darker, but this is a different species.
It must be, isn't bigger, isn't it? Looks bigger, much bigger.
Yeah.
Yes, but the adults of the other species also get really big. If you ask me now which one is the biggest as adults, I even say the water monitor would be the bigger one. With the limited knowledge that I have, without going on internet to check, I would say that the other one gets bigger than this one. These ones don't really go into the water normally, at least that's what I saw. They were always scavenging between the leaves of the forest, while the other one, you see them close to dumps or in markets, but they swim really nicely on rivers. This is a Sri Lankan kangaroo lizard. They like forests, and this is taken with the Z52 with a 90 millimeter zoom with a flash.
Wow.
The reason why this guy is so well sharp is that it's a kangaroo lizard. You see them walking walking away from the path as you walk, and then they stand still because they know they are camouflaged. You can approach really, really a lot. This is with a macro lens. And I was trying not to disturb him. He was cool. This is another one.
Yeah.
And this is a male.
Wow.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. And again, this is with the same combo, also with a 90mm lens, and I'm really close to the animal. The only thing is to get a background at a distance, because you never know where they are going to stop. Because they run away and then they stop and stay still until
Do
you
you have
move away.
a normal flash or a micro flash?
No, this is the SB500 from Nikon
Okay, yeah.
on ITTL. This is a lizard, bigger. This lizard is endemic to Sri Lanka. I only saw him twice. And this is along the path with lots of leaves. It was not easy. Well, it was approachable, but I did not have the macro lens with me. So this is taken with the
Chameleon.
180. It does look more like a chameleon. It's not. Oh yeah, now I get it. Sorry. Yeah, it's a chameleon. Yes. Very great. Cheers. I'll drink one on you later. This is a crocodile, a smaller crocodile than the salties. It's a mugger crocodile. Saw a few from a distance, and this one was next to a boat where we were. But it was not a big one. And this is a green turtle taken at the beach. Now, this is let's say it's a touristic place, and they feed the turtles, which is not a good thing. There are signs everywhere.
Yeah.
Please don't feed the turtles because of this and because of that. They don't
Typical
care.
tourists.
They give they sell these plastic bags with algae that they collect. I don't know where. And then they just go and everybody drops one or two of these algae, and the green turtles, it's a green turtle, go there and eat. Well, I don't want to give them money or to whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were there. We did not know that this was happening there. So this is with a big lens, and I thought, well, I'll take one from a distance, and that's it. So these turtles come to the surface, look around where there is someone, but it's not like there is one or two of these turtles. There are like 7, 8, or 9 or 10 of them, and they are big. And then when
Yeah,
this
they are
wave
big.
comes, they are big. And when one of the waves come and the turtles smashes against the legs of a tourist, that's what I like. Like, oh, okay, great. Because
We
they
saw a couple of them in Vanuatu. They are big ones.
okay. Yeah,
And
I've never
they
seen
were
them.
feeding them with the fruit.
Oh, okay.
A
At
big
least these
popo
ones,
and things like that.
at least these ones get natural food. But anyway, there are signs everywhere saying don't do it. Now, we go to the snakes. We're almost done, guys. Oriental rat snake. Now, you can see that
Do you have a flute with you?
I have a what?
A flute.
Do you have a flute?
Flute.
Flute. No flute. But it's good that you say it, because you think that I took this picture. My wife took this picture.
All right. And you
So
were
I've
singing?
No, she actually she learned from years before that she would call me, and then the animal would disappear. Now she learned,
Yeah, of
take
course.
the picture
Of course.
first
And
and
then
then
call me.
call me. Exactly. Because she did call me, and I was
We're losing you every now and then.
me and this and that. And then, of course, that's gone. But when I saw the picture, I was really impressed. It's Oriental red snake. We did see one, and this one, it's my own picture. This one is a lot nicer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is taken with her Z52 with the 50-250 lens.
We'll see who have the talent in the family.
I don't know what this thing here underneath is. I think it's the shape of the lower jaw. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He has as Inspector Clouseau would say, he has a bimp. He has a bimp.
Yeah, has a bit. Yeah. But when I
It
saw
looks
this
like,
picture, when I saw
the
this
teeth.
picture at the back of my wife's camera, I thought like, wow, well done. Then you don't need to call me anymore. But my wife does not like snakes, so that she took this snake. She was really surprised. She saw it and she took it with a 250 on a DX body. Okay, good. I was very proud of her. I am
Yeah.
very proud of her.
As I
This
said,
one,
we know who have the talent on this family.
that's it. That's it. You teach them, and then they're better than you. That's the way it goes. This snake was next to a temple. We saw it. I saw it on the side of the temple, and we followed this snake for at least 15 minutes. The snake was looking at us. I don't know if they are used to tourists there. I have never seen a
Probably.
snake that all snakes go away if they see you. Generally, this one just came a little bit closer. We kept our distance, but she saw us. She was aware of us. Went up a tree, and I had this idea of him climbing up a tree, and I would take a picture with the background at a distance. That didn't work out. I did take a lot of pictures in the tree, but none of them was good. But that one was fine.
Ooh,
This is an Indian python.
Python, yeah.
Yeah, this one taken from the in that park, taken from the jeep. We waited, but it was moving like a centimeter every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And after 20 minutes, I said, you know what, just go.
Yeah.
He moved even further up, but he was moving further and further away from where we could stay, and the angle was even worse and worse and worse. So like this, just let's go somewhere else.
Oh, that's nice.
Hang on a second. You're seeing this advertisement, right? There we go, gone.
That's
This is
different.
a Sri Lankan green vine snake. I could not focus this guy at all. I mean, it's focused there, but this.
Looks all right.
But we saw this snake twice. Now this one I could focus, and this one was with 180 to 600. Fortunately, it's a Sri Lankan pit viper. He
Yeah.
was in a twig higher than I would have liked to take a picture. I could not get even on a slightly slope on the side. I could not get to eye level.
Wow.
To get a little bit of the top. So I had to settle with this, and I was this picture I even took above me, looking at the display and trying to focus, holding the camera and the lens. I mean, it is sharp, but I also had to lower the ISO because there is, again, we are in the forest and it's dark. And this one is taken with a flash. You can see the light.
Yeah.
But I'm holding it above my head and trying to point into it, and then with a bit of luck trying to take a picture. I think this particular picture is a combination of 2 or 3 pictures where it was sharp here and sharp there and sharp here. So even holding it like that with taking like I don't know how many pictures per second, I was able to create something like this. But it was not what I wanted, let's say.
That looks nice to me.
It's okay. And this
You
is the
can have
last
what you
picture.
have,
This is the last picture
which
because,
is not in Sri Lanka.
well, you know what this is?
Kuala Lumpur, isn't it?
Excellent. Because of the situation in
Petronas.
yes, Petronas Towers. Because of the situation in the Gulf with the Iran USA thing going, and we were flying through Dubai, we could not go back to Dubai. It might have been possible to go through Dubai on that particular day, but I decided, even if they say it's safe, I'm not going back.
Much better.
Yeah, yeah.
So when all the tourists were talking, how do I go back? It was the talk of the day. Every day that we were there, when it started, everybody was worried. How do I go back? People phoning. We were at the restaurant, for instance, and listening to people calling for us in the UK. Yeah, I'm going through Qatar. No, you're not, because it's not possible.
Yeah.
I found a few Portuguese there in Sri Lanka. They were all going through Qatar. We're all like, and when in a few days, do you know how you're going to get back? No, I don't. So we were going with Emirates. On the day that Emirates allowed me to have a refund, because it was based on the date of the flight, and then all of a sudden they gave the possibility to everybody that was flying, I think in February, no, sorry, until the end of March. I immediately asked for a refund and bought and started looking for other tickets. All the tickets were expensive because you cannot fit thousands of people that were going through 3 or 4 different airports into the flights that are there.
Yeah.
So, and every time you looked online, things were more and more expensive. So we ended up flying 4 hours in the wrong direction to get to Kuala Lumpur. Stayed some 20 hours in Kuala Lumpur, which we knew before because our daughter was there doing an internship in 2019. So we actually visited a few places that we knew from them, restaurants, cafes.
Yeah.
And then we flew with KLM from Kuala Lumpur back to Amsterdam. Wasted a lot of money, but okay, at least we knew that we were going back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the last slide, guys.
We had the
Thank you.
same problem with Botswana with Doha and Dubai, and it cost me $2,000 extra to go through Johannesburg.
Oh, yeah. But you did arrange it beforehand, right?
Yeah, on the end, yeah. Before we go.
Well,
Yeah.
first, Luis, before we have some questions. Fantastic.
Very nice, man.
Tremendous
Really good.
Come on,
adventure.
everybody in the chat. I don't hear you.
No, more than welcome, guys.
Tremendous adventure
My
and
pleasure.
wonderful photography. And thank you very much. A good combination of travel and, of course, your animal encounters. Particularly enjoy the diversity of reptiles that you were able to take. And most of the reptile photos are beautiful, beautiful. Before we, I got a couple of questions.
Very good.
So, one question? You say you went in March, right?
Yes.
Now that part of Southeast Asia,
February to March. Yes.
February to March. That Southeast Asia is there is weather, correct? There is
The monsoons.
the monsoon season.
Monsoon, yeah.
Yeah. They
Close to-
they have 2 monsoons in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
They have the monsoon, which is associated to our winter, let's say, in the northern hemisphere. So when is winter in the States or in Europe,
Yes.
the rain goes down towards the equator. So they have this northern monsoon during our winter or your summer, Terry. And then there is a monsoon that is associated with our summer. So when the tropical low pressures go further north. And March, April, I think it's still okay. But I think from May, June, then they start having rain in the south.
All
You know,
the
the monsoons go from south to north, but that's the summer monsoons, the tropical monsoons.
Well,
And
I was going to say you did a fantastic job with this because you got, cultural images. You've got a variety of everything. So I mean, you give everybody a really overall good picture of where you went and what you experienced. With the monasteries and I mean, just a very good glimpse of what people would have to look forward to if they traveled there. So.
and
Great
that's
job.
because I went with my wife. That's why you have this extra information. If I would go with my friends birding, then you would see 0 temples and no extra information.
You'd see no people. You wouldn't have
No,
any people pictures at all.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Thanks, David.
Yeah. So the other question that I have is, obviously with all the disruption of traveling and
Mhm.
you being in the industry somehow, is that
Yeah.
now sorted out that people can travel through the Middle East, or there's still restrictions?
At this moment, well, I've been curious these last few days how the situation is. At this very moment, I don't know. I know there are advices. Today, I read in the news that the travel advisory to the Middle East changed from here.
Okay.
I did not read into it. What I
So,
see from my work, I see flights from everywhere going everywhere. That's what I
okay.
see at the moment.
Okay. Because
I
you would
also
say
read
the Emirates and Dubai, I know there are such a connection points between the
absolutely.
Far
I
East
wouldn't be
and
surprised that even now there are lesser flights than back then. I mean, at least in April, uh, from April May, there were less flights when they began. There were obviously not as many flights as before, uh,
exactly.
because they were flying to the south to avoid the Gulf.
Yeah,
Qatar in the beginning was even more critical because it's more into the Gulf than the Emirates. So
exactly.
everybody that we were talking to that were flying back with Qatar Airways, I have no idea
Wow.
how they got back, to be honest. We had our own problems, let's say, so we had to sort. What was funny when we were in the high mountains in that tea growing area,
Hmm.
um, there was I was drinking coffee in a cafe with my wife, and then this woman approached my wife and talking with the local dialect from where we live, asking my wife, "You live there and there, and you do the yoga in that and that club." And my wife said, I never, I don't know you, but yes, it is true. So she lives in the same here, close to where we live. I don't know exactly where, but my wife actually, after the holidays, saw her and recognized her here for the first time.
Oh my God.
And but but we were talking. Obviously, they were from here. I mean, everything in her in yeah. I mean, you recognize if you live here, yeah, not only speaking Dutch but also speaking the local dialect and the accent. With you, yes, she is from here. And we also talked. Yeah, how do you go back? And they were very relaxed. She, I'm here with my husband. No, we don't care, and we see and whatever. And then she walks back uh, to her table, and 5 minutes later she comes back and saying, I just had a word with my husband. I think it's better to buy a different ticket because the situation is not very. What it happened to them specifically is that they when they were back in Colombo, Emirates sent them either an email or by telephone, I'm not sure, or WhatsApp. They had to present themselves every morning.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
remember how early in their office, and they would
Yeah.
know at that moment if they could go or not. I don't want to lie, but I think they went 3 consecutive mornings on three consecutive days, and on the third day they were told you can go. I think the day after, and via whatever.
Wow. Because that was the difference between, I remember at the time, between Luz and you and Terry, because you guys were in the traveling already when the problem started. But
Yeah,
Terry
Yeah.
was, he was future travel. So he was able to, uh,
yeah,
great cost,
Yeah.
but
They start just before, just a little bit before we go.
exactly.
yeah.
But you were in the trip when all
Yeah.
this
Well,
disruption.
yeah.
We noticed when the thing started, we were on that day we went to visit um, that old capital in the north. We traveled there 45 minutes, came back. Now, on that night, the thing started, and we didn't know, we didn't check the news. And then we just, as tourists, you just go somewhere. And then we catch our glimpse of why is this queue to buy fuel here?
Oh my God.
We didn't know. We were drinking coffee somewhere, and we went. I don't. We went to the day that we went to that big rock. That's when the
Oh
day
my
where
God.
the
Yeah.
thing started. So like a big fuel queue. I don't know what's happening. And then we checked everywhere. And, oh, okay, that's what happening. And
And I
after and
yeah.
the day after, or on that same day, I found a local in English internet site, was a newspaper, Sri Lankan, the Guardian, I think, or the Observer, I don't remember, but very good up to date news in English.
Okay.
of what was going on in Sri Lanka. And on the second day of queues, they said we have enough reserves and there is no problem. And indeed, the day after, there were no queues because
Oh,
people were just buying fuel just because.
People
And
panic most of the
yeah,
times.
anyway, that went like that for a week and a half.
mhm.
And when we were in that fort, we had 2 days to go, and then we saw queues again. And like, why are they queuing now? Somehow it was related to not having that many reserves anymore, whatever,
Oh,
because they are fully dependent from what is coming
Yeah,
from
yeah.
there. So somehow it came in the news like, okay, fuel shortage or whatever, and there were queues everywhere again. And we needed to deliver the car with the kind of
The tank
almost
full.
full
empty,
tank.
no, not full, was kind,
Okay.
3/4 or a quarter, whatever. You can, there is also that possibility. And that was my case. I did not need a full tank, but almost full to have the last fuel for the last 2 or 3 days. And that was funny because we by chance overtook the queue that was coming from the other side because there was a bus coming backwards and trying to leave somewhere. We didn't realize there was a huge queue coming from that
Oh
side.
my God.
So we coming from here, and we saw the queue behind us, and then like, oh, and then I stopped, and then I asked, there was a police officer there, and maybe because we were tourists, he said,
That's
yeah,
right.
just come in.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably. So I asked, can I go like this? And he said yes. So we went in, and we overtook 20 cars, I don't know.
Oh my God.
And we only realized that afterwards when we were leaving. Actually, my wife, because she was outside, she realized there was a queue, and anyway. So I asked for 20 liters, whatever, and the guys were talking to each other, and I didn't understand. And
Big
well,
bargain.
no, it was not even that, but like whatever. And I said, listen, I don't need the car full. I only need so much. They started to talk, and then they said, okay, and they sold me whatever 20 liters or whatever it was, and then I went away. When we got to the hotel, then they said that there was a restriction from that day of 15 liters per week per car,
Oh my God.
and you needed a QR code to buy fuel.
Wow.
And
Lucky
then
you.
the only explanation was you guys are tourists. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but there was
Sometimes.
a QR code. The locals had this QR code because Sri Lanka went bankrupt at least once, and they had already
Yeah.
QR codes to buy fuel. So they had to reactivate QR codes. 15 liters. How many gallons is that divided by four?
15
Yes.
liters or something.
3 gallons.
Uh,
Three,
3 gallons per week.
three and a
Per
half,
week.
3.5 gallons. Yeah.
For every week. No, I could not have traveled like that. So
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
what happened after I left, but I said, well, good luck. I'm out of here in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
That car, heroic account of all the trouble, correct? Because the last thing you want is to have any kind of disruption when you travel. I think he froze a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Luis is frozen up.
Freeze again.
But anyway, another great presentation. I mean,
I think
Yeah,
we
with
see.
his
we're seeing the
narration,
world through
it took all
through
my
Terry
questions.
and Luis's eyes and Gustavo's eyes as you guys go to Iceland and Sri Lanka and down into Africa.
We are travelers of the world.
You are the travelers.
Yeah. So let me see. I think he's trying to join again.
Yeah, probably cut off and trying.
Yeah. I think he's back here. Luis.
Yeah.
Okay. You're coming back gradually. We hear you.
Gradually. Yeah,
Yes.
no, very
We
good.
got the spinning wheel. Well, okay, that's weird.
I'm happy this only happened at the end, so that's great.
No, that's fine. We didn't have that much interruption. So anyway, Luis, what we're saying, thank you very much. Let's allow you to sleep a little bit because we want you to, as you continue your travels, that you go back and tell us those interesting stories again and show us all the animals.
One
And
last thing.
yes,
You remember I told you I forgot my laptop,
Aha,
Yeah.
yes.
and I'm gone again. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ignore that little thing. Let me see
Yeah,
if I
you
can.
have you have a double.
I have a double.
Yeah, we got, okay.
Here we are.
Good.
We got it.
So I'm at the airport, beginning of the holidays, and I go like, I don't feel this. There's something missing in my backpack. Oh
It's
yeah,
too
the
light.
laptop. Yeah, it's on top of my in the living room. So what am I going to do? Cards in the airport? You cannot buy cards. You cannot buy anything. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have. I'm sorry, that app which is very SnapBridge
Oh,
Okay,
separate.
okay.
Okay.
didn't work.
Yeah, of course not.
Didn't work.
Yeah, well, you know what Roy thinks of
Yeah,
Snap.
Roy's favorite app. I know that.
Crap Bridge.
But anyway, tried that. Didn't connect. Didn't work. My wife tried, and oh yeah, connected, and yeah, it's only 3 megabytes, and forget about it. Um, and then I was like, can I connect this directly to my phone? The Z52 I had in my hands. And then something pops up with this kind of Android thing, and then it says, what do you want to do? And it allowed me to copy straight from the camera to my Android Samsung telephone. To the documents or downloads, I don't remember. I think it's documents. Okay, so that might work. In Dubai, on the way there, I went like, can I buy a laptop here? And being Dubai, they had nothing cheap.
Exactly.
So I asked the price for USB or whatever. Only these two. And I like, how much is it? I said, you know what? No, thank you. Not going
They were
to.
expected to be cheaper there because of the duty free and all this.
Yeah, but it's so
But they are,
exclusive. Exclusive. I don't know what we bought. Was what I call these nuts, Pekka notes. Now I thought I believe all my money here just for these.
Next time, go through Johannesburg.
Well, better to say you didn't have your laptop than to say, oh no, where's my wallet?
Oh, my wallet. Yeah. Anyway, what I ended up doing every day, and I clean. I carry 2 mobile phones. I had one mobile phone. It sounds a bit decadent, but only to have a mobile hotspot. And I have my old mobile phone with everything is broken, but because of all the apps and everything, I still keep it. I cleaned everything that I had on that mobile phone, and I was able to copy all my pictures from Z8 and Z52 and from my wife on the spot. Took a little while. Directly camera, phone, and of course I had to do it the next phone, SSD card, SSD drive.
Yeah.
Takes a while. Every day I copy them.
Wow.
That's the way I did it.
Yeah.
And to be safe, copied it twice to 2 different SSD cards. But I was trying not to be trigger happy because I knew if I'm trigger happy with this system, it takes me 2 hours to. When I was in that Yala National Park, 2 days later I was still copying from the phone to whatever.
The phone doesn't have that much memory, correct? So
Yeah, the other one had. So I knew I could put easily hundreds of 40 megabyte pictures on the internal memory. To be fair, it got full twice, so I don't remember how many. But
that's why I bought the one with the 1 terabyte.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
it's my fault. So, but it worked like this.
Well, at least you figured out a workaround.
I was happy to be back home with. Yeah, but you see, I did not know it was possible to directly bring the camera from the camera straight to a mobile phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works with Apple. I don't have it. I have a Samsung. Android sometimes in these types of situation is easier than Apple.
As long you make the first.
I don't know if it works with Apple. Maybe you guys can try.
As long you connect your phone with the camera steady, that's after that it works okay. I had a problem. I was really hate this program. Really hate. Never works for me until
SnapBridge?
I tried to put it on. I connected with my actually the 6.3 because I need it for the GPS, nothing else. What I find out, if I leave the bridge open all the time on my phone, whenever I will open the camera, straight away make a connection. Straight away, few seconds,
Okay.
not straight away, few
Yeah,
seconds
okay.
later, he make the connection. And I find out that the bridge doesn't really consume any battery.
Okay.
I left it on purpose, looking at 2 days continuously. It didn't affect the battery almost at all. And then now I have it on all the time.
Okay. Okay.
And
Also good
maybe
to know.
now I will try to do what you did now with the transfer of just in case. I'll try to
Now,
transfer
have a look
some photographs.
because
Yeah.
I did not know this worked. It was completely out of panic and
Yeah, of course.
necessity
Yeah.
that you go, how can I transfer? And I didn't think it would work. But then this icon showed up. I don't remember anymore, but if I would do it, I would think and then I pressed something by mistake and then it didn't work. And then I tried on the other phone, and then I realized if I press there and I don't touch anything anymore, it just copies everything.
Yeah.
And once I knew this, I just left it there. And for
Don't
almost 3
touch it.
weeks, I was able to copy everything. Sometimes was a bit lengthy, but
So the solution here from Martin is a good
yeah.
one because
Okay. So the iPhone is.
I mean the
can
iPhone, thanks to the European, they are USB-C, correct? So all the connection is USB-C. So you
the
have
new
a
ones,
hub,
yeah.
the new one.
Yeah.
So you have a hub because you will need to have two USB-C, correct? You can transfer from your card reader into
Yeah.
an SSD that is connected to the phone. That will be a good solution, particularly if you don't have to travel with a laptop. You may not be able to see the photos, but if you don't want to transfer, that may be a good solution, correct?
Yeah, yeah. The thing was with the photos, I could not pick up a good one just to show.
Exactly. No. So
I
you
would
just
just,
copy.
but they were all in a mobile phone at some stage, and then I had to delete them all to have the space to copy all the other. So I had to be sure that, and I did not lose a picture. I had to be sure that I was copying correctly to the SSD card and then opening the file again to be sure, because I was deleting them all afterwards anyway. Because I did not carry enough, even I have CF Express cards, but even after a while, they all get full anyway.
But those things that you're talking about are important because sometimes, I mean, your laptop can go wrong, and actually laptop
Also, yeah, of course, that
is
can also
more
happen.
stuff to have, correct? So
Yeah.
so I'm actually considering something like what Martin is saying here, or only taking my iPad, correct? Because you don't want to travel with. I mean, it's nice to have a laptop because you can review but it's another
Absolutely.
hassle, correct? So it's a
But I never saw
but
anywhere the situation where I was stuck with. I never saw this explained anywhere. I just
no.
tried.
You really. What surprised me is that you have so much memory space in your phone that you could, because you were shooting raw, correct? These are not even JPEG.
I was shooting raw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I shoot raw and JPEG.
Most
So
people
I
don't
would
have phones with that much memory in them.
exactly. So
That's why I have the 1 terabyte from Samsung.
there we
exactly.
go.
Exactly.
And I had to remember which picture number I stopped to be sure that I would pick up from there onwards.
The
It
next
was
Exactly.
I would not like to do this again.
Pen and
Yeah.
paper. No. But hey,
It's
you have
true.
to do what you have to do, correct?
Yeah, and I have them all. I was really very thorough to be sure I stopped on that number, and the telephone would give me a warning that there was that picture there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes it would copy the same picture and put a 1 or a 2 or a 1
Yeah. Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
And if I did not know the number, I was copying everything twice again. So I don't know exactly what the logic is, but at least the steps that I did, I was able to copy everything.
Yeah, no, that was very ingenious. And sorry that you had to the trouble to this, but But
My
definitely,
fault. My fault.
no. But it's good to explore options because I mean, look at Martin. He had to travel light. He's not going to be. I mean, he's walking, correct? In
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
to
In that case, if it works, yeah, of course, yeah.
yeah, it's connected to a phone is the right thing because it's just using the phone as an intermediary, correct?
Yeah.
So that
And even from the phone to the SSD card, I did not know if that was working, but it's indeed C2C, and the
Yeah.
telephone recognized it, and I
yeah,
know I can put things on the phone. On the other one, I have my own SD card.
definitely we need to do as a group here uh,
Yeah,
more
an
experimenting.
experiment.
More
Yes,
experimenting because I know Jeff is about to travel, correct? I mean, it's always a hassle. What do you take? What you don't take? I mean, and the more stuff you take, actually, the more chances that something will go wrong. Correct? It's like
absolutely.
one of
Yeah.
the thing is like I was talking to Jeff the other day. Correct? Chargers. Correct? One of the hassles to bring the Z9 and the Z8 is that you have two different batteries, two different type of chargers. So then you have to be, hey, can I go all USB-C charging? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and because the
Or
USB-C,
charge directly to the camera. I do
exactly,
that
that's what I mean,
sometimes.
direct to the
Yeah.
camera. Then
But
what
I carry both options with me all the time. I carry
the charger?
the charger, but I also carry in a different place with me.
Exactly.
I carry the cables and the rest as a backup. I always carry those things in different places, and even chargers in different places.
Exactly. No, but that's thank God that you were able because I mean we travel and we want to document what we do, correct? And you're not going to be only working with your phone. You want to work
No.
with your camera, correct?
About the batteries, the power
Mm.
bank can solve a big problem. Having one big power pack,
Yes.
you don't need to have a different camera,
Yeah.
different batteries, because
There
you can
are
charge the
airports.
battery.
Yes, there are airports in Asia where they look to your power bank and
Yeah.
take it if it's higher than so
Really?
much. In Malaysia, is that?
Really?
Yes, I've. It's the only place is in Kuala Lumpur twice where they look at and if you, I went on the internet site of Malaysian Airlines or Kuala Lumpur Airport, and there it was written what the limit was, and
Yeah.
it was a limit in microamperes, and mine power bank had a different thing, so I had to go online and try to see which one was what they mean,
I
and it's
lost one.
Problem is that airlines have reduced. They keep
also
on changing the rules in terms of how strong your power bank can be.
there
So
were already
I
problems
mean,
with
the
aircraft
one
with
I
that.
have, that I bought is this. The capacity is too large. I'd have to buy a smaller one to be able to bring it on the plane.
I
With
have one
you
that
or in
can
the pack? With you or checking?
With you.
with you always.
Even
We don't have this here. We can have whatever we want, but not in the pack, not in,
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
checking.
Yeah, but I only
You
say
can
in
have it
Asia.
with you. It's all right, no problem.
Yeah, indeed.
I
the,
lost one, a big one, very good one, because I forget it inside the pack. Because when I go down to New Zealand, everything
Good
was all right.
advice.
When I come back,
Yeah.
wasn't inside.
but
And
Terry,
they sent me a letter. Sorry.
Terry is things are changing because I that's the same
Yeah.
period you're traveling. Nobody has asked me about power bank, but this time traveling to Iceland, they asked me specifically, "Do you have a power bank?"
Okay, so also that, yeah.
So there is some changes in the airline regulation. They don't like the like Jeff was saying the big brick power banks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, those are tricky to take.
yes. So
I have
anyway,
I have one that charges the Z52. I think it's 20,000 microamperes,
Yeah.
something like that. That one I
Milliamp.
would take, milliamp, yeah. But for the Z8, you need 25
Yeah.
to power up the Z8, if I'm correct. It's
35.
35, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that one I didn't dare buy because I'm not sure if
Yeah,
I
of
will be
course.
able to take it.
the good story about it is that now there are very powerful chargers with multiple cables that you can hook on the same charge. So you take one of those chargers you can hook it to your phone at night with your. I would show the one that I took to Iceland because it also is very compact and has all the different type of plugs for the
I
different
have
colors.
one. They give me 800 watts
Exactly. So
from
you have one of
different.
those, then you are okay. But
Each of the exit has 100 watts
the
full.
only thing is that you have to remember testing all your cables that they are uh, capable. We lost Luis again.
Yeah, so I looked up on the internet quick. It says I just put in what are the airline restrictions for power bank size, and it said all power banks must be carried in carry-on baggage.
Yeah.
Standard limits are based on watt hours. Under 100 watt hours, which is roughly 27,000 milliamp hours,
Yeah.
requires no approval. But 100 watt hours to 160 watt hours requires airline approval and is strictly capped at 2 per passenger. Anything over 160 watt hours is prohibited. But they keep changing the rules.
Exactly. And that can change per country as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
We
interesting.
have to have that in our mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was already cut off twice, so it's the sign that I have to go.
Yes.
All
Luis,
right.
thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Well, thank
Thanks
you
very
again
much,
for
mate.
doing
Welcome.
this. We appreciate it. We know how much time it takes to put something like this together. So we really appreciate that you're willing to do that for everybody.
And Luis,
Oh, not at all.
don't worry about it. I'm going to go here quickly through the instruction for the next photo review,
Yeah.
and but you can go because it's already late for you guys. All right.
No worries.
See
Take
ya.
it easy.
Till the next time, guys. Thank you.
See you.
Yeah.
See you.
Yep.
Have a good one. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
mate.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, so upcoming. So let's do something here quick. So image review is next for us, correct? Which is August 1st. So it's about a week and a half. I will be hosting that day, plus whatever panelists decided to join us that day. Jeff is going to be traveling. So another reminder I will do later, you have to send the photos to me or briefly in the next couple of days to Jeff. Right? We will have then a general meeting on number 19 with a special presentation about line painting, which is part of the art of photography series by Robert Rosato. That will be August 15, pending some business related travel from him, but we will know sooner. And then by then Jeff will be back and he will send the normal reminders, correct? That's why you receive two reminders, one for the image review and for today's show, correct? So we should be then after that, we go back to normal. September, with Jeff will be hosting here. Now,
I'll try to do something like this one, like Louis' presentation. For,
beautiful, beautiful.
yeah.
I help you if you need any help, Jeff,
Yeah.
Terry, and so this is the uh, um, invitation for the photo lounge live in August. Okay,
Yeah.
This
And
is
we
the
already have that. We already
show
have
my
that in the
photograph there.
queue,
Yes.
too. So if you go into the selective imagery, you're already going to see that the thumbnail's in there for the
For that
photo
show.
review.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next show.
So this is the next one for the light painting. Fantastic presentation material, great explanation, and even a demo how to put together to make this type of images here. So hopefully we will have that on the 15th of September, 15th of August. Okay? So in the pipeline, so we have something from Terry in the pipelines. We see how that mature. To be determined, we wait until he shape it up to the point that he feel comfortable, and you will see
As you have for August, probably I'll do something for September.
September exactly.
Yeah.
Then I think Paul, aka Kuwaratsi, he has several presentations in the making, some special projects that he has, and I will do something on Iceland as well in the future. So we got something, but that doesn't mean don't send us some additional ideas. If you have any idea, anything that you have done recently that you want, any experience that you want to share, any new product that you have tested, like we were discussing here about regulations and power bank, how to equipment to take
Yeah, it was
on the road.
very nice to know now.
Exactly. So let us know, and we will schedule you in one of the meetings. Right? And so for this show, remember these are the instructions. Right? Next email review is Saturday, August 1st. Please send the photos to this address, which is my first name followed by my surname, number 2 at gmail.com. Right? Then the format, as usual, JPEG, 48 pixels in the long end minimum, correct? Slightly bigger is okay, provided you can email them. Deadline should be the Friday before the photo review, preferably as soon as possible so they have time to put them in the queue, and include a brief description of your settings and your camera, as well as whatever you want me to tell about the photos, correct? So again, that's my email. You can send the photos to me. If you send the photos to Jeff in the coming days, but not that much later, he will forward those to me. But this is my email address, so you can send me the photos. Great. So anyway, with that, Jeff, I think we're done. We this is a special presentation, so we don't want to drag this too long. And with that, we can close this one and go back to the regular stuff.
Regular
life.
scheduled shows.
Regular scheduled shows.
So thank everybody in the chat that hung out here with us and enjoyed the presentation. And treat Gustavo kindly doing the photo review. Don't beat the guy up. He's working hard. Appreciate his time. So I will not. I'll be there in spirit. Well, he'll have some of my pictures to show. So you see now because I won't be around. You could beat up on my pictures because I won't hear it.
Exactly.
So you can insult me.
At last, we will have a chance to open
You have
our
a chance to
mouth.
beat me up. Yep.
All right, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Take
See ya.
care.